فقلت وعليك السلام يا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي. فقال يا أماه إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جدي رسول الله. فقلت نعم إن جدك تحت الكساء. فأقبل الحسن نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليك يا جداه يا رسول الله، أتأذن لي أن أدخل معك تحت الكساء؟ فقال وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا صاحب حوضي، قد أذنت لك. فدخل معه تحت الكساء. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولدي الحسين قد أقبل وقال السلام عليك يا أماه. فقلت وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي. فقال لي يا أماه إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جدي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله. فقلت نعم إن جدك وأخك تحت الكساء. فدنا الحسين نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليك يا جداه والسلام عليك يا من اختاره الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكما تحت الكساء؟ فقال وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا شافع أمتي، قد أذنت لك. فدخل معهما تحت الكساء. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. فأقبل عند ذلك أبو الحسن علي بن أبي طالب قال السلام عليك يا بنت رسول الله. فقلت وعليك السلام يا أبا الحسن ويا أمير المؤمنين. فقال يا فاطمة إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة أخي وابن أمي رسول الله. فقلت نعم ها هو مع ولديك تحت الكساء. فأقبل علي نحو الكساء فقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء؟ قال له وعليك السلام يا أخي ويا وسي وخليفتي وصاحب لوائي، قد أذنت لك. فدخل علي تحت الكساء. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. ثم أتيت نحو الكساء فقلت السلام عليك يا أبتاه يا رسول الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء؟ قال وعليك السلام يا بنتي ويا بدأتي، قد أذنت لك. فدخلت تحت الكساء. فلما اكتملنا جميعا تحت الكساء أخذ أبي رسول الله بطرفي الكساء وأومأ بيده اليمنى إلى السماء وقال اللهم إن هؤلاء أهل بيتي وخاستي وحامتي، لحمهم لحمي ودمهم دمي، يؤلمني ما يؤلمهم ويحزنني ما يحزنهم. أنا حرب لمن حاربهم وسلم لمن سالمهم وعدو لمن أعداهم ومحب لمن أحبهم. إنهم مني وأنا منهم. فاجعل صلواتك وبركاتك ورحمتك وغفرانك ورضوانك علي وعليهم، وأذهب عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. فقال الله عز وجل يا ملائكتي ويا سكان سماواتي، إني ما خلقت السماء مبنية ولا أرضا مدهية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مزية ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا في محبة هؤلاء الخمسة الذي هم تحت الكساء. فقال الأمين جبرائيل يا ربي ومن تحت الكساء؟ فقال عز وجل هم أهل بيت النبوة ومعدن الرسالة، هم فاطمة وأبوها وبعلها وبنوها. فقال جبرائيل يا ربي أتأذن لي أن أهبط إلى الأرض لأكون معهم سادسا؟ فقال الله نعم قد أذنت لك. هبط الأمين جبرائيل وقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله. العلي الأعلى يقرئك السلام ويخصك بالتحية والإكرام ويقول لك وعزتي وجلالي إني ما خلقت السماء مبنية ولا أرض مدهية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مزية ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا لأجلكم ومحبتكم، وقد أذن لي أن أدخل معكم، فهل تأذن لي يا رسول الله؟ فقال رسول الله وعليك السلام يا أمين وهي الله إنه نعم قد أذنت لك. فدخل جبرائيل معنا تحت الكساء فقال لأبي إن الله قد أوحى إليكم يقول إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. فقال علي لأبي يا رسول الله أخبرني ما لجلوسنا هذا تحت الكساء من الفضل عند الله. فقال النبي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيتنا ومحبينا إلا ونزلت عليهم الرحمة وحفت بهم الملائكة واستغفرت لهم إلى أن يتفرقوا. فقال علي إذا والله فذنا فذا شيئتنا ورب الكعبة. فقال النبي ثانيا يا علي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيتنا ومحبينا وفيهم مهموم إلا وفرج الله همه ولا مغموم إلا وكشف الله غمه ولا طالب حاجة إلا وقضى الله حاجته. فقال علي إذا والله فذنا وسئدنا وكذلك شيئتنا فازوا وسئدوا في الدنيا والآخرة ورب الكعبة.
محمد جزاک اللہ. یہ تھے جناب رضا رضوی صاحب جو حدیث قصہ کی تلاوت کر رہے تھے. اب ہم سلام اور مرسی کا آغاز کر رہے ہیں. میں سب سے پہلے گزارش کر رہا ہوں جناب علی نقوی صاحب سے کہ وہ آئیں اور بارگاہ شہدائے کربلا میں نذران عقیدت پیش کریں. پر محمد وآل محمد بآواز بلند نعرہ صلوات اللہم صلی علی محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجہم.
بارے دیگر صلوات. سب سے پہلے اہل بیت کی شان میں 4 مصرے صلوات. اللہ کی عطا ہیں یہ مومن کو اہل بیت. اللہ کی عطا ہیں یہ مومن کو اہل بیت. کرتے ہیں پاک قلب کو باطن کو اہل بیت. کرتے ہیں پاک قلب کو باطن کو اہل بیت. ہیں مصطفیٰ و مرتضیٰ زہرا حسن حسین. ہیں مصطفیٰ و مرتضیٰ زہرا حسن حسین. اللہ نے ہے پکارا اللہ نے ہے پکارا اس چمن کو اہل بیت. صلوات. سلام کے چند مصرے. زنداں سے رہائی ہوئی جب اہل عزا کی، زنداں سے رہائی ہوئی جب اہل عزا کی، روتی ہوئی زینب نے بہت آہ و بکا کی، اصغر کو کبھی روتی تھی اکبر کو کبھی وہ، زینب جفا کا ذکر کرے اہل دغا کی، زینب تجھے لے جاتی بتا کیسے سکینہ، زینب تجھے لے جاتی بتا کیسے سکینہ، زندہ میں یتیمان اسیری میں قضا کی، زندہ میں یتیمان اسیری میں قضا کی، سجاد بھتیجے ہے یہ زینب کو ضرورت، سجاد بھتیجے ہے یہ زینب کو ضرورت، شبیر کو رونے کے لیے بیت سرا کی، شبیر کو رونے کے لیے بیت سرا کی، سرہائے شہیدوں کی جو آمد ہوئی گھر میں، سرہائے شہیدوں کی جو آمد ہوئی گھر میں، ہر سر پہ عزا اون و محمد سے سوا کی، ہر سر پہ عزا اون و محمد سے سوا کی۔ مقطع ملاحظہ فرمائیے۔ زہرا کی دعا ہی ہے عزادار کا جینا، زہرا کی دعا ہی ہے عزادار کا جینا، باکر ہے جو مصروف عزا آل ابا کی، باکر ہے جو مصروف عزا آل ابا کی، زنداں سے رہائی ہوئی جب اہل عزا کی۔ صلوات۔
صلی اللہ محمد۔ یہ تھے جناب علی نقوی جو سلام پیش کر رہے تھے۔ اب میں گزارش کر رہا ہوں زین نقوی اور ہم نوا سے کہ آئیں اور سوسخانی کریں، زین نقوی اور ہم نوا۔
ایک بلند تر صلوات۔ اللہم صلی علی محمد وآلِ محمد۔ سلام کنچن شعر پیش خدمت جناب سید اختر زیدی مرحوم کا کلام ہے۔ حصار خانہ معبود گھر حسین کا ہے، حصار معبود گھر حسین کا ہے، مقام سجدہ تعظیم در حسین کا ہے، حصار خانہ معبود گھر حسین کا ہے، سروں کی بھیڑ میں دیکھو کہ ظلم کے آگے، سروں کی بھیڑ میں دیکھو کہ ظلم کے آگے، جھکا ہوا جو نہیں ہے وہ سر حسین، جھکا ہوا جو نہیں ہے وہ سر حسین کا ہے، حصار خانہ گھر حسین کا ہے ہزار سر ہیں نماز جنہیں بچاتی ہے ہزار سر ہیں نماز جنہیں بچاتی ہے نماز کو جو بچائے وہ سر نماز کو جو بچائے وہ سر حسین کا ہے حصار خانہ معبود گھر حسین کا ہے یزیدیہ جو کہیں منہ چھپائے بیٹھی یزیدیہ جو کہیں منہ چھپائے بیٹھی خدا کا خوف نہیں اس کو ڈر حسین خدا کا خوف نہیں اس کو ڈر حسین کا ہے حصار خانہ معبود گھر حسین کا ہے اداس شام شفق پھول گریائے شب اداس شام شفق پھول گریائے شب خدا کا ملک ہے لیکن اثر حسین خدا کا ملک ہے لیکن اثر حسین کا ہے حصار خانہ معبود گھر حسین کا ہے یہ کہہ کے ساقی کوثر نے مجھ کو جام دیا یہ کہہ کے ساقی کوثر نے مجھ کو جام دیا گناہ گار ہے ذاکر مگر حسین گناہ گار ہے ذاکر مگر حسین کا ہے حصار معبود گھر حسین کا ہے حصار خانہ
درود بھیجے پر محمد
اللہم صلی علی محمد والے محمد مسیح کی چند بن ہے ایک سورہ فاتحہ بسم اللہ صل علی محمد وآل محمد. مسافران مصیبت وطن میں آتے ہیں، سفر سے آتے ہیں سوغات آہا لاتے ہیں، بجائے اشک وہ آنکھوں سے خون بہاتے ہیں. اٹھا کے ہاتھ مدینے کو یہ، اٹھا کے ہاتھ مدینے کو یہ سناتے ہیں، لٹا کے آئے ہیں زہرا کے سب گھرانے کو. نہ کر قبول تو ہم بے قصوں، نہ کر قبول تو ہم بے قصوں کے آنے کو. مدینے ہم تیرے والی کو آئے ہیں کھو کر، مدینے گردن شبیر پر چلا خنجر. مدینے کوفے میں سر ننگے ہم پھرے در در، مدینے داغ رسن ہے ہمارے، مدینے داغ رسن ہے ہمارے شانوں پر. نہ راہ دے ہمیں زہرا کا نور عین نہیں، مدینے اکبر و قاسم نہیں، مدینے اکبر و قاسم نہیں، حسین نہیں. ہلی زمین مدینے کی اس گھڑی پیغام کیا بشیر کو سجاد نے طلب، جس دام گلے میں شالے عزا ڈال دی بدید نام، اور اس کے ہاتھ میں رو کر دیا، اور اس کے ہاتھ میں رو کر دیا سیاہ علم. کہا کہ جان نہیں گو اپنے منہ دکھانے کی، مگر وطن میں خبر کر دے، مگر وطن میں خبر کر دے میرے آنے کی. چلا بشیر یہ دیتا ہوا خبر ہر جا، مگر محلے ہاشم میں دیکھتا ہے کیا کہ ایک مریضہ سرے راہ ہے کھڑی تنہا. جو نام پوچھا تو رو رو کے بول، جو نام پوچھا تو رو رو کے بولی وہ صغرا. بشیر کہنے لگا کیوں تو شور و شین میں ہے، کہا یہ حال میرا فرقت ہے، کہا یہ حال میرا فرقت حسین میں ہے. بشیر سمجھائیے بنت حسین ہے صغرا، خاموش رہ گیا صغرا کے منہ پہ کچھ نہ کہا. پکاری فاطمہ گردن میں دیکھ شال عزا، تو بھائی لایا ہے کس کی سنا، تو بھائی لایا ہے کس کی سنا، مجھ کو سنا. وہ بولا خاص دے بیمار کربلا ہوں میں، سنانی خبر پیمبر پہ لے، سنانی خبر پیمبر پہ لے چلا ہوں میں. وہ بولی رو رو کے بھائی یہ کیا سناتا ہے، وہ کون ہے جسے بیمار تو بتاتا ہے سنانی کس کی ہے، یہ مجھ کو ہول آتا ہے کہ مصطفیٰ کی لہد سے تو کہ مصطفیٰ کی لہد سے تو کہنے جاتا ہے، امامہ پھینک کے اس نے کہا دہائی ہے، تیرے حسین کی صغرا سنا، تیرے حسین کی صغرا سنا آئی ہے، زمین پہ ہائے پدر کہہ کے گر پڑی صغرا، خبر یہ پھیلی تو ماتم ہر ایک گھر میں ہوا، تمام عورتیں نکلی گھروں سے کرتی بکا، نبی کی خبر پہ جا کر بشیر، نبی کی خبر پہ جا کر بشیر نے یہ کہا، سفر سے لٹ کے ادھر بھوکی پیاسیاں آئیں، اٹھو رسول تمہاری نواز، اٹھو رسول تمہاری نواسیاں آخری بند، بشیر کہتا ہے واللہ روزہ کام گیا، لحد سے نالا ہوا وا حسین کا پیدا، ادھر زمین پہ تڑپتی تھی فاطمہ صغرا، زنان ہاشمیہ نے وہاں، زنان ہاشمیہ نے وہاں ہجوم کیا، کھلا کے شانہ کہا شاہ مشرقین آئے، اٹھو حسین کی عاشق اٹھو، اٹھو حسین کی عاشق اٹھو، اٹھو حسین کی عاشق اٹھو، حسین آئے۔
Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. Wanted to start by recognizing and thanking our sponsors for tonight's majlis, who are the families of Dr. Sajjad Zaidi, along with the family of Salim Abbas. Please join me this evening in praying for these families and especially their marhumin. Our last majlis for this year's Ayam-e-Aza, in which we will be commemorating the shahadat of our holy 11th Imam Hassan al-Asri alayhi salam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad, will take place this Wednesday night beginning at 8 p.m. Please join us for that program, which will be recited by Maulana Wasim Abbas Sahib. Your hosts will be the Ali family and Qasim Shah. And our Eid-e-Zehra program will take place this coming Friday night, where your hosts will be the families of Mohsin Naqvi and Javed Naqvi. Maulana Wasim Abbas Sahib will also be the speaker for that program. As I've been announcing, our weekly Shab-e-Jum'ah program will be commencing this coming Thursday. If you're interested in sponsoring one of our Thursday programs for the Isal-e-Sawab of your marhumin, you can see brothers Zahir Rizvi, Zain Naqvi, Farrukh Jafri, Musharraf Abbas, or Shaukat Naqvi. And lastly, Ahlulbayt School will be reopening for the new year this coming Saturday, September 14th. New students between the ages of 5 to 15 are welcome. The school runs on Saturdays from 10:45 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. If you'd like more information, you can see Brother Shabir Naqvi or stop by at the school this coming Saturday, the 14th. And before I invite him to the minbar, I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank Sheikh Dr. Mehdi Hazari Sahab for joining us these past 4 days and for allowing us to benefit from your vast knowledge. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues to keep you in his protection, and we look forward to having you again with us in the near future, inshallah. With that, I'd like to now invite him to the minbar to continue this evening's majlis. Bar Muhammad wa ale Muhammad salawat.
محمد و آل محمد سلام.
Can we please have a Surah Al-Fatiha for Shaheed Hassan Ali Rizwi, Sayyid Muhammad Zafar, Jamila Hussain, Hassan Zafar, and Parveen Ara. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Malik Yawm al-Din. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. لم يلد ولم يكن كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. صلى الله عليك يا سيدي ويا مولاي يا رسول الله وعلى أهل بيتك المعصومين الأبرار الميامين المظلومين المضطهدين. السلام عليك وعلى ولدك المظلوم أبي عبد الله الحسين يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة يا غريب يا غريب يا مظلوم يا عطشان كربلاء ما خاب والله من تمسك بكم أمن من لجأ والتجأ إليكم. يا ليتنا فيا ليتنا كنا معكم فنفوز والله فوزا عظيما. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إلا الذين تابوا وأصلحوا واعتصموا بالله وأخلصوا دينهم لله فأولئك مع المؤمنين وسوف يؤتي الله المؤمنين أجرا عظيما. آمنا بالله. صدق الله العلي العظيم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. والسلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. I want to begin by thanking Astaana-e-Zehra, the board, all of you, for inviting me and giving me this honor. It is my privilege. And I ask one request out of you, that you pray for me, inshallah, and I will pray for you. And that if there is any shortcomings from me, that you forgive me. We spoke over the last 3 nights about the nature of insan, and how the Holy Quran, it gives you a picture of insan that if you examine it carefully, you will see a reflection of yourself. That is the miracle of the Holy Quran. That is even what Al-Imam As-Sadiq alayhi salatu was-salam is reported to have said, and again as I paraphrase, that the Quran is such that it renews itself every time you read it. Every time you read it, in every mawsim, in every period, in every generation, you read it and it appears new. And that Quran, when you are low because of musibah, speaks to you in one way, and when you are happy and satisfied and fulfilled, it speaks to you in a different way. And at every turn, it warns you that the very thing which I mentioned on the first day, that makes you powerful, that makes you strong, that gives you the ability to achieve,
is also that same thing that the shaitan will use against you. We have to teach this to our children. We have to be aware of it ourselves and teach it to our children. We teach our children to be smart, to be intelligent, to excel in everything they do, and at the same time tell them, be humble, thank Allah, and recognize that whatever you achieve is because of Allah, not because of you. Because you see in the A'imma al-Athar, and they are Allah's chosen people, that no matter what, they thought of themselves as the lowest of the low. That's why even Amir al-Mu'mineen, when he says to Kumayl ibn Ziyad, وَأَنَا عَبْدُكَ الضَّعِيفُ الذَّلِيلَ الْحَقِيرَ الْمِسْكِينَ الْمُسْتَكِينَ. This is Imam Ali alayhi salam's words. He's saying, my Rabb, I am your lowest. I am needy. I am weak. I have no recourse other than to turn to you, Ya Allah. And so we have to teach this. Why? Because when we don't have this quality of humility in front of Allah, lowliness in front of Allah, the nafs, it has a tendency to jump and take control. And when it does that, whatever little iman we have inside of us, it becomes tarnished. And the Holy Quran gives an example of this, a very easy example. In the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam, Ibrahim alayhi salam is talking to the people of his community, and he asks a question, or a question is posed in the Holy Quran. It says, فَأَيُّ الْفَرِيقَيْنِ أَحَقُّ بِالْأَمْنِ إِن كُنتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. Which of the two groups deserves to be safe? Which of the two groups deserves safety if you can answer the question? If you know the answer to this question. The very next ayah gives the answer. الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَلَمْ يَلْبِسُوا إِيمَانَهُمْ بِظُلْمٍ أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمُ الْأَمْنُ وَهُمْ مُهْتَدُونَ. Now look at how the ayah describes. I want you please to focus on the ayah. الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. The minute I say الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, what do you think? That's it, they have succeeded. Right? When you say someone is a believer, in your mind, what do you think? Success, salvation. You have reached Jannah. That's it. And indeed, Iman is something great. Once you have reached Iman, that's it. It is falah for you. There is no human being who's going to say, oh, Iman, what's the problem? But the ayah, what does it say? الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَلَمْ يَلْبِسُوا إِيمَانَهُمْ بِظُلْمٍ. These people, not only do they have Iman, but something comes after it. That's always the case. That's why always the ayah, it says, الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. Iman by itself is not enough. You have to do something. This ayah, it says, those who believed, وَلَمْ يَلْبِسُوا إِيمَانَهُمْ بِظُلْمٍ. They did not cover their Iman with dhulm. And the ayah, it uses the word yalbisu, meaning they cover it like you are wearing clothes, libas. In Arabic, libas, the word means clothing, to drape over yourself. So the ayah, it says, those who believe and they don't cover their iman with dhulm. أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمُ الْأَمْنُ. These are the people who are safeguarded. They are safe. And these are the people who Allah, He says, they are muhtadun. They are the guided ones. Now I ask you, how is it that we do this? How do we do dhulm on ourselves? So many ways. So many ways. We talked about it for the last 3 nights. I've been already telling you. We believe and we do kufr at the same time. We do good deeds and we mix bad deed with it. Let me give you an example. Someone asked Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam. And we are all prey to this. We are all prey to this. They report, it says that they asked Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, how do I know my salat is accepted? He said, just ask yourself and look and see what you did after your salat. It's that simple. If your salat stopped you from doing a sayyi'ah, from doing a dhanb, then your salat is accepted. But if you finish your salat and then you go do ghiba and you're backbiting and you're eating haram and this, then what good is that salat? You have taken amal as-salih and sayyi'ah and you've mixed them together. We are doing this because we are not perfect. We are taking our iman and covering it with dhulm. Sometimes little dhulm, sometimes lots of dhulm. And that, we cannot take it for granted. My dears, I will keep it light today. It is the last day. I'm surprised to see all of you sitting here. I barely made it to the mimbar tonight. I've already eaten. Sayyid, I've had 4 cups of coffee, so I was going to get a drip. But, yallah, I'm here. Thankfully, there are lots of doctors in the community, so I feel pretty good with, having a drip put into my arm of caffeine, inshallah. We cannot take anything for granted. There is nothing guaranteeing anything. There is a story, a report, that comes from Imam Al-Kadhim alayhi salatu wassalam. In those days, the Banu Abbas, they always wanted to find some means of capturing the Shia. Although they had used the name of Ahlulbayt to get their position, Banu Abbas, how did they overthrow Banu Umayyah? One, because Banu Umayyah were corrupt. So people saw that corruption eventually. But why did they turn to Banu Abbas? Because Banu Abbas said, we are the family of Rasulullah. So put us in power. But once they're in power, what do they fear? The true Shia. They fear the true Shia. And so they try to catch anybody. And they stop at nothing to reach those Shia. So it's reported one day that Imam Al-Kadhim alayhi salatu wassalam, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. He's in his home. There are some companions sitting there. His nephew is there, Ali ibn Ismail ibn Ja'far al-Sadiq. Yes, his brother Ismail, son of Ismail, Ali. Ali is there. He gets up to go. He says, my uncle, I am leaving. I am going out of town. I'm traveling a distance. Imam says, my nephew, why are you going? He says, I'm going because I have a debt. And I need to earn some money, get some money, so I am traveling. Imam Al-Kadhim alayhi salatu wassalam, he says, stay, don't go. I will pay your debt. I will give you the money. Don't go. They say, he answers, he says, Yabna Rasulullah, no, I must go. I must go. I have to go. Imam says, no, stay. He tries to convince him. He says, no, stay. Don't go. I will take care of your problem. I will pay you. I will give you money. I will help you. Imam is saying, he's guaranteeing it. Ali ibn Ismail, he says, no, I must go, uncle. I must go. Imam, he says to him, if you must go, listen to my words. Do not ever do anything by which harm will come to the household of Rasulullah. Having said this, Ali ibn Ismail, he leaves. The companions are sitting there. They say, Yabna Rasulullah, this is your nephew. What is this you said to him right now? That don't do anything by which harm will come to the family of Rasulullah. He is the family of Rasulullah. No? He is the grandson of an imam. Why did you say this to him? Companions are sitting there. Imam Al-Kadhim, he says, because he is going because the Banu Abbas have promised him money. They have promised him hundreds and thousands of dollars of dirham to provide information about the Shia, and he is going. So I tried to convince him to stay. I tried to convince him to stay so that I will take care of his problem, but he chose to go elsewhere. Ali ibn Ismail, he doesn't survive. He makes it there to Sham or to Baghdad. He gets sick and he dies. He doesn't even survive. He doesn't even receive the money that he had been bribed with. But I ask you that if the grandson of an imam can go astray like this, what is our state? There's no guarantee for anybody. There's no guarantee for anyone that your iman is safe. You must struggle to make your iman pure, and you will struggle till you die. Some people say, we're so tired of having to fight the shaitan and deal with this and deal with that. That is hayat al-dunya. That is the imtihan. You think you will get Jannah for free? You have to toil and struggle. You have to see what is in front of you, identify it, and be able to know how everything is covering like a libas of dhulm on top of your iman. الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَلَمْ يَلْبِسُوا إِيمَانَهُمْ بِظُلْمٍ أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمُ الْأَمْنُ وَهُمْ مُهْتَدُونَ. The ayah is very clear, very clear. Only those who do not allow dhulm to come on top of their iman. This is our objective. And believe me, it is not easy. And our A'imma al-Athar, they have pointed to us the direction and how to do so. So let me tell you a riwayah. I will tell you a few points and we will finish, insha'Allah. They say once in the court of Ma'mun al-Abbasi, Al-Imam Ridha alayhi salatu was-salam has come. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Ya Ali. Imam Ridha has been brought from Medina all the way up to Khurasan, to Maru. Now, what was the strange predicament of Ma'mun al-Abbasi? Now look at history also, and we learn from the actions of Al-Imam al-Ridha alayhi salam. Ma'mun al-Abbasi, what had he done? He is the son of Harun al-Rashid, Arab father, descendant of the family of Rasulullah, the uncle of Rasulullah. His mother is a Persian. He has a brother, half-brother, whose father is Harun al-Rashid, mother is an Arab. These two have a problem with each other. So after Harun al-Rashid dies, Amin becomes the Khalifa, Ma'mun does not accept this. So what does he do? They war against each other. This is called one of the great fitnas of there are 5 fitnas in the Islamic history. This is one of the fitnas, where two brothers who are the sons of the leadership fighting against each other. Subhanallah. So now, Ma'mun al-Abbasi, whose mother is a Persian, fights against his brother. His soldiers surround Amin, they kill him. Okay? So now the Muslim Ummah is looking at Ma'mun and they're saying, one, you're not pure Arab like us, why should we accept you? There are still Muslims who think this way in those days, who think, my mother is Arab, my father is Arab, why should I follow you and declare you and accept you as a Khalifa? Your mother is a Persian. Doesn't matter who your father is, you are not pure Arab. We should not follow. One. Number two, the biggest thing of all, you just killed your brother. That's your brother, you killed him. What sort of trustworthy Khalifa will you be? So you see the political problem that Ma'mun al-Abbasi has. Now on top of that, the third thing that's a big problem is that the Alawis, the true Alawi, the true children of Imam Ali alayhi salam, they don't want to accept the Banu Abbas. They want to revolt. So the revolts are happening. People are standing up against the Banu Abbas. So he's got these 3 major problems. What's the solution? The solution is to bring Al-Hasan al-Ridha alayhi salam from Medina up to Khurasan to prove to everybody that, look, I have the grandson of Rasulullah right here next to me. He is right here, he is legitimate. The Shia will come into line. The Arabs who love Rasulullah will come into line. My politics will become safe. You see the way they thought. They bring Imam Ridha alayhi salam. Now you know this, I'm not telling you anything new. Ma'mun al-Abbasi, he says, I want you to be the next in line. And you will, from me, take the deputyship and you will take a position of leadership while I am here. Imam Ridha, he says no. He says no. Now I ask you this. Why not say yes? Why not say yes? Why not say, I'm going to take the position and then I will do what I choose, I want to do? Same question was given to Imam Ali when Abu Sufyan, he comes, he says, Ali, they took the position that belonged to you. I will support you with 20,000 soldiers. We will overthrow them. You will become the Khalifa. Imam Ali says, you have always been a munafiq. Go, I need nothing from you. Go. Same question can be asked, why not take it? Why not take it, get into the position, and then do what Allah requires? No? Why not do it? Because you don't want even, these are people who don't want even one speck of dhulm to come on top of their iman. Forget about one speck. They will not allow the shadow of dhulm to come near them. No? Not even this much will they allow. So that even if they have to start with dhulm to do good, it is unacceptable. Unacceptable. It is not proper. We, on the other hand, we make excuses. That's why Imam al-Athar are there. So now Imam Ridha comes, Ma'mun al-Abbasi, he says to him, look, become the deputy. Imam says no. He keeps pressuring him, keeps pressuring him, keeps pressuring him. Finally, Imam Ridha, due to the threat on his life, he has to accept. He says, okay, I will accept, but I have condition. Ma'mun al-Abbasi, he says, what's the condition? He says, I will take the position. Imam Ridha, he says, I'll take it, but I will not pass judgment on anybody. I will not lead anybody. I will not answer anything related to the government. You will not put me to go and deal with revolts. I will not be on top of soldiers. All of the political things you want me to do, I will not do them. See how Imam also, he says, you want to throw the dhulm on me? I'm Imam, dhulm will come nowhere near me. I will not even allow the dhulm to come near me, because I will not allow myself to be in a position where that can happen. We allow ourselves to even be in that position, no? We get into positions where dhulm automatically becomes a part of anything that we are doing. Yet Imam Ridha alayhi salam, he says, no, keep everything away. You force me into this position, fine. But I will not do what you ask me to do. Imam Ridha is in the court of Ma'mun al-Abbasi. Ma'mun, he was smart. He was a smart man. He had read. He says, Yabna Rasulullah, I want to ask you about an ayah of the Quran. Imam, he says, ask. There are other scholars there. They always wanted to hold one over on Imam Ridha. They always wanted to prove Imam Ridha wrong. Imam Ridha, he says, what's the ayah? Which ayah do you want to ask about? Ma'mun al-Abbasi, he says, there's an ayah of the Quran that says, ثُمَّ أَوْرَثْنَا الْكِتَابَ الَّذِينَ اصْطَفَيْنَا مِنْ عِبَادِنَا فَمِنْهُمْ ظَالِمٌ لِنَفْسِهِ وَمِنْهُمْ مُقْتَصِدٌ وَمِنْهُمْ سَابِقٌ بِالْخَيْرَاتِ بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. The ayah, it says, ثُمَّ أَوْرَثْنَا الْكِتَابَ الَّذِينَ اصْطَفَيْنَا مِنْ عِبَادِنَا. We made the inheritors of the book those people we have chosen. I said to you the ayah of the Holy Quran, إِنَّ اللَّهَ اصْطَفَى آدَمَ وَنُوحًا وَآلَ إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَآلَ عِمْرَانَ عَلَى الْعَالَمِينَ. Allah chose Adam, chose Nuh, family of Ibrahim, family of Imran over all of the worlds. He uses this word, istifa. Istifa, it means to choose somebody. Now, I don't know if I've ever explained this to you, but I will give you an example. In Arabic, to choose means al-ikhtiyar. You don't use the word istifa. In common Arabic, you would say, ar-rajul ikhtara shay. He chose something. Ikhtiyar is the word that is used. So why does Allah use istifa? As in Muhammad al-Mustafa. If someone comes and gives you a basket of apples, okay? What season is it right now? Apple season, no? Haydar was telling me. You can go pick your own apples. Get all these apples, put them in a basket, okay? Haydar's smiling. I expect some apples soon. They bring the apples to you. You're sitting looking. You say, pick one. You come, you look. You're one of those people who likes the boti in the biryani. Okay. Me. I like the boti in the biryani. I shouldn't pick on you. Yeah. You see an apple you really like, you pick it, you take it. Okay? You take it. Then I say to you, no, put it back. Put it back. You put it back. I take the basket, I mix it up like this, mix the apples. I say, come and pick the apple. Again, you think you can pick that same apple? Probably not. That is ikhtiyar. Ikhtiyar is to pick something that is good, you see is good, you pick it. What is istifa? Istifa, I come to you with a basket full of rocks. All gray rocks, dirty, black, gray, all different color rocks. And there's one diamond in the middle of it. and I say to you, pick the diamond. You pick the diamond. Not hard. The rest are rocks. Then I say, put the diamond back. I mix it up. I say, pick the diamond. Put it back. Mix it up. Pick the diamond. Mix it up. Pick the diamond. Mix it up. Pick the diamond. You will always pick the diamond. This is Istafa. This is Muhammad al-Mustafa. Mustafa is the diamond. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. We are all the rocks and Rasulullah is the diamond. So when the ayah it says ثم أورثنا الكتاب الذين اصطفينا من عبادنا, we made the inheritors of the book those who we have chosen. اصطفينا, the ayah it says it. فمنهم ظالم لنفسه ومنهم مقتصد ومنهم سابق بالخيرات بإذن الله. There are three groups. The ayah it's stating, we made inheritors of the book, a certain group of people, three groups. ظالم لنفسه, one who does dhulm on himself. مقتصد, middle ground, sometimes good, sometimes bad. And third group, سابق بالخيرات بإذن الله, those who are way ahead of everybody else in doing good by Allah's permission. Ma'mun al-Abbasi, he says, who is meant by the inheritors of the book in this ayah? Who's inheriting the book? He looks to Imam Ridha. Imam Ridha, he says, the scholars are here, let them answer. You have scholars sitting here. Let them answer. So he looks, Ma'mun al-Abbasi, the scholars are all sitting there. All of them, they consult. They say, I cannot say Amir al-Mu'mineen, Amir al-Fasiqeen. You have this ayah, the inheritors of the book is the ummah, is the entire ummah. It's the entire ummah. It has to be. Because look, it gives all of these categories, it has to be all of this ummah. They look at Imam Ridha. Imam Ridha, they ask him, Imam Ridha, he says, my opinion is different. Ma'mun, he says, Ya Al-Hasan, tell me, what is your opinion? Imam Ridha alayhi salam, he says, the inheritors of the book are al-itrat al-tahira, the pure progeny. The pure progeny. He asks, he says, what is the proof? Why is your opinion different from all of these scholars? They say the whole ummah. Imam Ridha alayhi salatu wassalam, he says, did you read the next ayah? Jannatu adlin yadkhulunaha. The very next ayah, it says, they enter into paradise. Vast paradise they enter. He says, will the entire ummah enter into paradise? He says, indeed, there are people of this ummah who are not going to paradise. They are not going to paradise. So then Ma'mun says, okay, fine. He says, who is the itrat al-tahira then? Who is the itrat al-tahira? And how do we identify them? Again, he looks, the scholars all start consulting. And again, they come back. We have come to an agreement that the itrat al-tahira, the pure progeny, are the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. Look how they do it. It's the entire community. It's the entire nation of Muhammad. And again, they look at Imam Ridha. Ya Al-Hasan, what do you say? Imam Ridha alayhi salam, he says, again, my opinion is different from what yours is. So they say, what's your opinion? He says, let me ask you one thing. Is the entire ummah allowed to take sadaqah? If you say the itrat al-tahira, the progeny of Rasulullah, is the entire ummah, putting everyone together, is the entire ummah allowed to take sadaqah? The answer is no. Because the relatives, the descendants of Rasulullah cannot take what? Sadaqah. They're not allowed to take sadaqah. So you cannot say that the itrat al-tahira is the entire ummah. It is only the children of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala. Look at what Imam is pointing, Imam Ridha alayhi salam. Why all of this? Because the ayah says that there are those sabiqun bil khayrati bi idhnillah. There are those who are way ahead of everybody else in doing good deeds. And they are not the same as zalimun li nafsih. One who does dhulm is not the same as sabiqun bil khayrat. They are not the same. The middle muqtasid, this is all of us. We do good, we do bad. We do good, we do bad. But the zalim is not like the one who is sabiq, who is ahead of everybody else. That's why that distinction has to be made. So now Ma'mun al-Abbasi, it's reported, he says to Imam Ridha, and I will focus on this and this only today. He says to Imam Ridha, he says, you claim imamat. You claim imamat. Where is the proof of imamat? Imam Ridha gives very short answer. He says, bin nas. Bin nassi wad dalail. Nas, it means the ayah of the Quran. And that's why when the ayah says, وَجَعَلْنَاهُمْ أَئِمَّةً يَهْدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا, Imam is not who you chose. It is the ja'al of Allah. Yes? So Imam Ridha alayhi salam, he says, the nas of the Quran will tell you who is the Imam. So now Ma'mun asks another question. He says, what are the qualities of that Imam? How do you know? Imam Ridha, he says, by their knowledge. Their knowledge is higher than everyone else's knowledge. And not only their knowledge, when they make a dua to Allah, Allah answers it. That is the difference between an Imam and somebody else. Allah may not answer someone else, but the Imam's dua is mustajab. Ma'mun, he asks, he says, how do you know the matters, the affairs of the world that happen around you? Imam Ridha alayhi salam, he says, it is a ahd that has come to us from Rasulullah. Rasulullah has instilled in us this ability to see. Then Ma'mun al-Abbasi, he says to him, how do you know the hearts of people? Look at the question now. How do you know the hearts of people around you? Imam Ridha, he says, have you not heard the saying, اتقوا فراسة المؤمن فإنه ينظر بنور الله بنور الإيمان? Have you not heard the phrase that be aware of the firasa? This word firasa, it means ability to see. Okay, not see with these eyes. Real. Be aware of the firasa of a mu'min because he looks with the nur of Allah, with the nur of Iman. وَمَا مِن مُؤْمِنٍ إِلَّا وَيَنْظُرُ بِنُورِ الْإِيمَانِ بنور الله سبحانه وتعالى على قدر إيمانه ومبلغ استبصاره وعقله. Every mu'min will see with the nur of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala based on three things. Three things. The level of their iman. How great is their iman? The greater the iman, the more they can see. The deeper they can see. Istibsar. Istibsar, when Imam says mablagh istibsarihi, in English, when you translate the word istibsar, it means clairvoyance. Clairvoyance means you're psychic. You can see what others cannot see. Okay? Why is that a problem for us? Why is it a problem for us? If I stand here and I say to you, I hold a plate full of gulab jamun, okay? Someone said I didn't mention gulab jamun this time. I have a plate of gulab jamun. I'm holding it in front of you. You see it. I say there is gulab jamun in this plate. Will you believe me? You'll believe me, right? You will believe me. But if I take that plate, I walk it 5 miles away where you cannot see it, and I say, is there a bowl or a plate of gulab jamun? Will you believe me? You may believe me. Why? Because you saw me holding it before. I just walked it far away. Now let's say I walk in, I never had a plate in my hand. I never showed you any gulab jamun. I didn't show you anything. I said, I have a plate of gulab jamun, but I'm not going to show it to you. Will you believe me? You will not believe me. You will not believe me. Maybe you see me as a truthful person, so based on your trust of me, you will believe me. But you will still not know for sure. Right? You will not have certainty, you will not have yaqeen in your heart to know that I actually have it. I'm giving you a very silly example, but this is us. We believe only that which we can see with our physical eyes. We trust and have yaqeen in only that which my eye can see. That's why, what does the ayah say? That on the day of judgment, when they see the nar Jahannam, they've seen it with what? Ayn al-yaqeen. The eye of certainty. Why is it the ayn al-yaqeen, eye of certainty? Because you see it, you believe it. And yet you have people like Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib about Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. We were able to see the nar Jahannam. Why? Because Allah pulled the veil from our eyes suddenly. The curtain was removed. I saw it with my eye. I believed in it. Yet Amir al-Mu'mineen, what does he say? He says, لو انكشف عني الغطاء ما ازددت يقينا. Even if they remove the veil from my eyes, my yaqeen will not increase. It's already at the top. So why? Why does istibsar get mentioned? Clairvoyance. Because Imam knows that we only believe in that which we can see, we can touch, we can smell. And he is saying, disconnect from your physical eyes, your hands, your body. Disconnect from it. Believe from the ayn of the qalb. Believe from the eyes of your heart. The only way that happens is if you don't cover your heart with dhulm. Yes? The only way that happens is if you keep the darkness away from your qalb. And last thing that Imam Ridha, he says, Iman, mablagh al-istibsar wal-aql, or the ilm that is in the aql. All right? Knowledge. The more knowledge you have, the more you will be able to see Allah. I am not talking about reading books. I am not talking about opening textbook and getting a degree, a PhD, this, that. This is information. It is not knowledge. Knowledge is what brings you close to Allah. Knowledge is what tells you haqq from batil. Knowledge is what tells you nur from dhalam. That is knowledge. And that's why when you teach your children, teach them what is real knowledge. Go to college, get a degree, get your career, earn a halal living. But that is not knowledge. Teach them wisdom, ahsant, knowledge. Why? Because if you cannot identify dhulm, how do you know that it's covering your iman? We cannot even identify the dhulm in our lives, so how do we even know that it is covering my iman and darkening my faith, inhibiting my way of seeing? So Imam Ridha, he says, وَمَا مِن مُؤْمِنٍ وَلَهُ فِرَاسَةٍ. Every mu'min has this firasa, this ability to see, this insight. And he says, it comes from this ayah. Ma'mun, he says, what does firasa mean? He says, it comes from the ayah of the Holy Quran that says, إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِلْمُتَوَسِّمِينَ. There are signs for those people who are known as al-mutawassimin. The ayah of the Quran says. Imam Ridha, he says, فَأَوَّلَ الْمُتَوَسِّمِينَ رَسُولَ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَآلِهِ وَسَلَّمَ. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. Al-mutawassimin are the ones who see the world and see the haqq of that world. They see haqq and they know it is haqq. They see batil, they know it is batil. They see things clearly as ever they need to see them. He says, أول المتوسمين رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله ثم أمير المؤمنين ثم الحسن والحسين ثم الأئمة من أولاد الحسين عليهم السلام صلوات على محمد وعلى محمد اللهم صل على محمد. This is what we are trying to learn. My dears, everything in our lives is causing us damage to our faith, our well-being, for one of two reasons. Either I cannot recognize that it is dhulm, I cannot identify it. If I cannot identify it, what is the good? I don't even know it is dhulm that I am doing. And I am doing it and it is harming me. So either I cannot identify it, or I can identify it and I just don't care. I don't care enough to do something about it because I don't think it's harming me. I don't think it is causing me damage. I don't think it is causing me to become blind on the inside. And that's why Allah constantly warns, constantly warns, constantly warns. And He says, don't be of those people who've been reminded and you forgot. My dears, when Imam Hussein is in Karbala, how many times does he remind the people? Subhanallah, how many times he reminds the people? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? He stands even in the end, he says, Bayni wa baynakum kitab Allah. Between me and you is the book of Rasulullah. They knew, they were reminded. Yet you see how ghafla, how takabbur, how greed or tama' comes into an insan. And how it shapes who we are. And very little it covers the iman and it can ruin us. May Allah protect us from that. It's reported, it is reported, that once someone asked Al-Imam Al-Hadi alayhi salatu wassalam, Al-Imam Al-Hadi had the habit, it is reported, of telling his students, his followers, about the early days of Islam. He used to tell them about it, describe the circumstances. So once he is telling them about Qanbar, the attendant of Imam Ali alayhi salam. Qanbar, he describes one day, Qanbar is bought in front of Hajjaj ibn Yusuf al-Thaqafi. Hajjaj ibn Yusuf al-Thaqafi, he is like Khalid ibn al-Walid, okay? He is one of these people who they think, oh, he's great general, he did this and he did that. He was a murderer and a killer. Like men like Humayd ibn Qahtaba. Look up Humayd ibn Qahtaba the same way. Same sort of people. So Qanbar is bought in front of Hajjaj. Hajjaj, he says, I know that you are the attendant. You were the attendant of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Qanbar is old by now. He says, I know you are the attendant of Ali ibn Abi Talib. He says, tell me, what did you do for him? What did you do for him? Qanbar, he says, I didn't do much for my master. But when the time came for salat, I will prepare the water and leave it there for him so he can do his wudu. Hajjaj, he says to Qanbar, he says, what did your master Ali say when he was doing wudu? Ya Allah. Qanbar, he says, he would recite ayah of the Quran. Hajjaj, he says, what is that ayah? Qanbar, he says, فَلَمَّا نَسُوا مَا ذُكِّرُوا بِهِ فَتَحْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ أَبْوَابَ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ حَتَّى إِذَا فَرِحُوا بِمَا أُوتُوا أَخَذْنَاهُمْ بَغْتَةً فَإِذَا هُمْ مُبْلِسُونَ. He would recite this ayah. What does the ayah mean? فَلَمَّا نَسُوا مَا ذُكِّرُوا بِهِ. When the people forgot what Allah kept reminding them, but they forgot. Allah opened up all the doors for them. Allah opened all the doors for them. Look, this can happen. It is called istidraj. It is mentioned in the Quran that when you become so ghafil, you forget that Allah is warning you, and you are turning the other way, not heeding the warning. The ayah, it says, فَلَمَّا نَسُوا مَا ذُكِّرُوا بِهِ فَتَحْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ أَبْوَابَ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ. When they forgot the dhikr of Allah, Allah's reminder, Allah opened all the doors. حَتَّى إِذَا فَرِحُوا بِمَا أُوتُوا. Allah gave them everything, they became so happy. They became so happy because everything now has been given them. أَخَذْنَاهُمْ بَغْتَةً فَإِذَا هُمْ مُبْلِسُونَ. We suddenly grabbed them. And now they are in despair. Qanbar, he says, this is the ayah my master Ali ibn Abi Talib used to say during wudu. Look the status of Ali ibn Abi Talib. They say when salat time comes, Amir al-Mu'mineen will become yellow in the face. He's reciting ayah like this. Imagine. We should be the same way, the followers of Ali ibn Abi Talib. And not only that, but what does Allah say in the next ayah? فَقُطِعَ دَابِرُ الْقَوْمِ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا وَالْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. Those who did dhulm, Allah cut them off. He cut them off immediately. He severed them completely, those who did dhulm. And not only does he finish, he says, وَالْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. All praises to Allah Rabb al-Alameen. They say, Hajjaj, he looks at Qanbar, He says, I think your master meant us by this. Even the zalim, he knows when he's being spoken about. Muawiyah knew who he was and who is Ali. He says, I think your master was talking about us. Qanbar, he says, indeed. Who else would he be talking about? Hajjaj, he says, I would like to spare your life. Give me a reason why I should spare your life. Because I would like to execute you. He says, I have no reason for you to take an excuse from me. If you execute me, I will be reunited with my master. Take me from here. Take me from here. Look at the legacy, the strength, and what the teaching is for us, my dears. And if I leave you with one thing, this is what we have to be aware of. Don't leave even the dot of dhulm in your life. Work to even remove the speck of dhulm that could be sullying, that could be ruining your faith. Teach your children to do it. Do muhasabat nafs. Imam Ali alayhi salam will tell his companion at the end of the night when you sit down on your bed and you are ready to sleep, make a note, ask yourself, Ya nafs, what did I do today? From morning till night. Did I do all of the wajibat? Did I do the mustahabbat? What haram did I do in my life that I should ask forgiveness for? What things did I do not to take care of those people who have a haqq on me? Ask yourself, do muhasabat nafs, so that you can find even the speck of dhulm on your iman and remove it. That is the way of Ahlulbayt, alayhim as-salatu was-salam. And you see that in the defense of this, A'imma al-Athar did everything. That is Karbala. That is the name of Karbala. That is the name of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib, Al-Hasan al-Mujtaba, and the children of Al-Imam al-Husayn alayhi salam. And the price they paid was very high, very, very high for this, my dears. That's why carry it in your hearts always. The pain of Al-Imam al-Husayn, constantly in your hearts. Don't let it leave your hearts. That pain, particularly, you feel in the youngest of people who were with Imam Hussein. You know that Imam Hussein, he sent Muslim ibn Aqil to Kufa. Just hear some words from me, and I will depart. Muslim ibn Aqil, he comes to Kufa. What in the beginning are more than 10,000 people there next to him, go down to 1,000, go down to 100. Come down eventually, there's nobody, he is alone. You know about Muslim ibn Aqil. You know about the two sons of Muslim ibn Aqil, but even Abdullah ibn Muslim, who was in Karbala. They say about Abdullah ibn Muslim ibn Aqil, his mother was Ruqayya bint Ali. Abdullah ibn Muslim, the Rawi, he says he came out to fight. When the Banu Hashim came to fight, he was so small, he came out to fight. At one point, he gets tired. The sweat is coming down. He stops in the middle of the battlefield. He raises his hand to wipe the sweat from his face. As he is wiping the face with the sweat, the enemy fires an arrow, shoots an arrow. The arrow goes through the back of his hand into his mouth. Abdullah ibn Muslim ibn Aqil. Mother is Ruqayya bint Ali. The arrow goes into the mouth. In those days, the head of the arrow was barbed. It had edge. So you couldn't take it out of the flesh. It'll get stuck. This young boy, now his hand is stuck with the arrow through into his mouth. He stops in the middle of the battlefield and tries to remove the arrow. The la'een, the cursed soldier, he looks at his friend. He says, while this young boy is busy, his attention is to take the arrow, I will strike him and kill him. He goes, raises his sword, and Abdullah ibn Muslim is shaheed. You see the lives that were given, the lives that were given. Muslim ibn Aqil in Kufa, they take him to the top, they throw him, they cut his head off, he dies. In the meantime, Imam Hussein is in the desert. He's making his way up to Karbala. He reaches one place, I think it is Tha'labiyya. He stops in Tha'labiyya. A messenger has descended from Kufa. he brings a message. Imam Hussein looks at the message, he reads it. He puts it away, he says, where is my sister Zainab? Sayyida Zainab, she comes forward. He says, Ya ukhayya ya Zainab, where are the little children? They're in the middle of the desert, they have stopped for a little while. Where are the little children? Sayyida Zainab, she says, they're playing. Little children, they don't care. You stop somewhere, they go run, they play, they pick up sticks, they keep themselves busy. Imam Hussein, he says, where is that little girl? He describes this little girl. Sayyida Zainab, she says, she is with the other children. Imam Hussein, he says, bring her to me, bring her to me. The Rawi, he says, that little girl, Sayyida Zainab brings her, holding her hand, bringing her close to Abi Abdullah. فَلَمَّا رَآهَا الْحُسَيْنِ جَلَسَ عَلَىٰ أَرْضِ الصَّحْرَاءِ. Imam Hussein sees this little girl coming close to him. He sits down on the ground. وَأَخَذَ بِالْبُنَيَّ فِي حِجْرِهِ. He takes this little girl, he places her in his lap. وَبَدَأَ يَمْسَحْ عَلَىٰ رَأْسِهَا. He begins to rub her head. As soon as he starts to rub the head of this little girl, she turns, she says, Ya Amma, limada tamsah ala ra'si? Why are you rubbing on my head? Kama yumsahu ala ru'usil yatama. Why are you rubbing on my head like they do for the orphans? This same little girl on the day of Arba'in, when everyone is lying on the graves of their loved ones, Layla on the grave of Ali al-Akbar, Ramla, Farwa on the grave of Qasim ibn al-Hasan, even Sayyida Zainab on the grave of Abi Abdullah. This little girl is running from grave to grave saying, Ayna qabra walidi Muslim ibn Aqil? Where is the grave of my father Muslim ibn Aqil? This is Hamida, the daughter of Muslim. This is the same state of Fatima al-Alila, Fatima bint al-Husayn. That when that qafila comes back to Medina and the news reaches Fatima bint al-Husayn, she runs into the house saying, Ya hala bi walidi al-Husayn. Welcome to my father al-Husayn. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا آل محمد أي منقلب ينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. اللهم إنا نسألك بحق محمد وأنت المحمود وبحق علي وأنت العلي الأعلى. اللهم إنا نسألك بحق الحسن وأنت المحسن ونسألك بحق الحسين الشهيد وأنت قديم الإحسان. فرج عنا يا الله فرجا عاجلا قريبا كلمح البصر وهو أقرب من ذلك. وافرغ علينا صبرا وتوفنا مسلمين. والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وآله الطاهرين. يا حسين.
Hussein,
दी बशीर ने रोके ये सदा है, दी बशीर ने रोके ये सदा, लुट गए हराम मर गए हुसैन। दी बशीर ने रोके ये सदा है, दी बशीर ने रोके ये सदा, गए हराम मर गए। हाय गुल हुआ चराग लो मदीने का, हाय गुल हुआ चराग लो मदीने का, لٹ گئے حرام مر گئے حسین، دی بشیر نے رو کے یہ صدا، ہائے دی بشیر نے رو کے یہ صدا، ہاں لٹ گئے حرام مر گئے حسین، ہائے وہ مجاوری روزہ نبی، وہ مجاوری اس مدینے کی جس سے زیب تھی، خاک میں اسے لو ملا دیا، ہائے خاک میں اسے لو ملا دیا، لٹ گئے حرام مر گئے حسین، دی بشیر نے دی بشیر نے لٹ گئے حرام، دوپہر تلک صاف گھر ہوا، عصر کو کٹا شاہ کا گلا، بعد قتل شاہ خیمہ جل گیا، ہے بعد قتل شاہ خیمہ جل گیا، لٹ گئے حرام مر گئے، ہائے دی بشیر نے رو کے یہ صدا، دی بشیر نے رو کے یہ صدا، لٹ گئے حرام مر گئے، ہائے مٹ گئی جو ہائے شکل مصطفیٰ، زندگی سے ہاتھ شہ نے دھو دیا، رن میں نوجوان شہ کا مر گیا، ہائے رن میں نوجوان شہ کا مر گیا، لٹ گئے حرام مر گئے حسین، ہائے دی بشیر نے ہائے دی بشیر نے لٹ گئے حرام، ہائے ناتوان نے پہنی بیڑیاں، ہو گئیں اسیر ساری بیبیاں، قید کی گئی آل مصطفیٰ، ہائے قید کی گئی آل مصطفیٰ، لٹ گئے حرام مر گئے، دی بشیر نے رو کے یہ صدا، ہائے دی بشیر نے رو کے یہ صدا، لٹ گئے حرام، ہائے بیووں کو کیا اونٹوں پر سوار، دی مریض کے ہاتھ میں مہار، منزلوں غریب کانٹوں پر چلا، ہے منزلوں غریب کانٹوں پر چلا، لٹ گئے حرام مر گئے حسین، دی بشیر نے رو کے یہ صدا، لٹ گئے حرام، ہائے تیر سے چھدا حلقے بے زباں، مر گیا صغیر لے کے ہچکیاں، نارے ظلم سے جھولا جل گیا، ہائے نارے ظلم سے جھولا جل گیا، لٹ گئے حرام مر گئے حسین، ہائے دی بشیر نے رو کے یہ صدا، ہائے دی بشیر نے رو کے یہ صدا، لٹ گئے حرام مر گئے حسین۔
ہے رسول اللہ، ہے رسول اللہ، ہے رسول اللہ، زہرا کو پیمبر کا پرساد و عزادارو، زہرا کو پیمبر کا پرساد و عزادارو، روتے ہوئے سیور کا، روتے ہوئے سیور کا پرساد و عزادارو، زہرا کو دارو تطہیر کی آیت کو پڑھتے تھے جہاں کا امت نے مظاہرہ کا دروازہ جلا ڈالا جلتے ہوئے اس در کا جلتے ہوئے اس در کا پرساد و عزادارو زہرا کو پیغمبر حق ان کا بھی چھینا اور حملہ بھی کیا گر پر گردن میں رسن باندھی دربار گئے لے کر مظلوم یہ ہے در کا مظلوم یہ ہے در کا پرساد و عزادارو امت کو نہ چین آیا یوں زہر کھلا کر بھی تیروں کو چلایا ہے تابوت کے اوپر بھی ٹکڑے دل شبر کا ٹکڑے دل شبر کا پرساد و عزادارو زہرا ہر دور میں امت نے کیوں ڈھائے ستم پوچھو کس جرم میں زہرا کے مارا گیا بچوں کو محسن علی اصغر کا محسن علی اصغر کا پرساد و عزادارو زہرا کو کو پیمبر کا گرے اپنا لوٹا کر بھی اسلام بچایا ہے اور نو کے سنا پر بھی قرآن سنایا ہے نیزے پہ اٹھے سر کا نیزے پہ اٹھے سر کا پرساد و عزادارو زہرا عباس کریم ایسا امت نے ستم ڈایا مارا علی اکبر کے سینے میں حسن نیزا ہم شکل پیمبر کا ہم شکل پیمبر کا پرساد و عزادارو زہرا کو پیمبر کا پرساد زہرا کو پیمبر کا پرساد و عزادارو پرساد و عزادارو پرساد و عزادارو
Sir. السلام علیکہ یا ابا عبداللہ، السلام علیکہ یا ابن رسول اللہ، السلام علیکہ یا ابن امیر المومنین و ابن سید الوسین، السلام علیکہ یا ابن فاطمۃ الزہراء یا سیدۃ نساء العالمین، السلام علی الحسین وعلی علی ابن الحسین وعلی اولاد الحسین وعلی اصحاب الحسین، السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ، السلام علیکہ یا ابو الفضل العباس ابن امیر المومنین و قاسم ابن الحسن و مسلم ابن عقیل و ہانی ابن عروہ و حبیب ابن مظاہر والحر الشہید ریاحی، السلام علیکم جمیعاً شہداء کربلا و اسیران کربلا و رحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ، السلام علیکہ یا غریب الغرباء، السلام علیکہ یا معین الضعفاء والفقراء، السلام علیکہ یا مغیث الشیعۃ والزوار فی یوم الجزاء، السلطان یا ابا الحسن یا علی ابن موسیٰ الرضا، روحی و جسمی لک الفداء ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ، السلام علیکہ یا مولا یا صاحب العصر والزمان، الامان الامان الامان، السلام علیکہ یا خلیفۃ الرحمن، السلام علیکہ یا شریک القرآن، السلام علیکہ یا مظہر الایمان، السلام علیکہ یا امام الانس والجان، عجل اللہ تعالی فرجک وسہل اللہ تعالی مخرجک وظہورک وجعلنا من اعوانک و انصارک رحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ، صلوات اللہم صلی علی محمد و آل محمد، اللہ الرحمن
الحجت ابن الحسن صلواتک علیہ وعلی آبائہ فی هذه الساعة وفی کل ساعة ولیاً وحافظاً وقائداً وناصرا ودلیلا وعینا حتی تسکنہ ارضک طوعا وتمتعہ
فیہا طویلا برحمتک یا ارحم الراحمین، اللہم صل علی محمد یا علی. Mu'mineen, I just got the list of the marhumeen of the sponsors. If you could just recite Surah Fatiha for the following marhumeen: Suraya Bilgirami,